filled with an unknown form of energy, so-called dark energy, which is theorized to contribute 68% of the total energy in the present-day observable universe. Thank you for letting me join you.
Consider the inevitability of your death. Change, also referred to as impermanence or the process of becoming, is essential to existence, and death is the only change that will absolutely and certainly happen in your life. Death is the irreversible cessation of all biological functions that sustain an organism. It is an inevitable process that eventually occurs in all organisms. Every living thing on Earth dies, including you. Organisms such as the Tortopsis dohrnii jellyfish are biologically immortal. These jellyfish are capable of reverting completely to a sexually immature colonial stage after having reached sexual maturity as a solitary individual in a process that can theoretically go on indefinitely. However, they can die from means other than aging, including being eaten by predators or succumbing to disease. All stages of this jellyfish, from newly released to fully mature individuals, can transform to an earlier form under the conditions of starvation, sudden temperature change, reduction of salinity, and artificial damage to their bell part with forceps or scissors. This ability to reverse the biotic cycle in response to adverse conditions is considered unique in the animal kingdom on Earth. In non-human animals, predation can be a common cause of death, with younger animals suffering higher rates of predator-related deaths. The average human life expectancy is about 74 years. It is estimated that 56 million people die each year on Earth, and about 150,000 people die each day. Currently, there is no cure for death, though humans try to maximize their lifespan in ways that include calorie reduction, dieting, and exercise. The leading cause of human death in developing countries is infectious disease. The leading causes in developed countries are heart disease and stroke, cancer, and other diseases related to obesity and aging. By a very wide margin, the largest cause of death in the developed world is biological aging, old age. About 2/3 of humans in the world die of age-related causes. Senescence, biological aging, is the gradual deterioration of functional characteristics in living organisms. Almost all animals who survive external hazards to their biological functioning eventually die from senescence. Before the 20th century, most people in Western countries died in their own homes, surrounded by family and comforted by clergy, neighbors, and doctors. Currently, about 22% of people in developed countries die outside of a medical institution. Roughly 1.4% of all human deaths worldwide are by suicide, the act of intentionally causing one's own death. Human suicide is most common among people over the age of 70, and an estimated 10 to 20 million non-fatal attempted suicides occur every year. Suicidal behavior has been observed in Salmonella bacteria to overcome competing bacteria by triggering an immune system response against them. Suicidal defenses have also been seen in the Brazilian ant Forelius pusillus, where a small group of ants leaves the security of the nest after sealing the entrance from the outside. Pea aphids can explode themselves when threatened by insects, scattering and protecting their colony, and some species of termites have soldiers that explode, covering their enemies with a sticky residue. Many human traditions hold that physical death may not entail the end of the existing self, sometimes called consciousness. In certain cultures, death is part of a process shift from one state to another, following the death of the organism. This concept of death is an irreversible process where the human loses their physical existence as a person, a human life, on Earth. The remains of any organism that has died on Earth normally begin to decompose shortly after death, during which time the organism may be consumed by a predator or scavenger to sustain its own life. Precisely when an individual organism will die is never predictable, and what happens after death to the existing self, sometimes associated with the consciousness, is completely unknown. As far as we know, all of existence depends on change. There is currently no way to prevent the change from life on Earth to death. Now, consider what can be done to enhance your life.
Thank you for letting me join you.